Hi fourth graders, it's Mrs. Utzler here coming at you today with our lesson for today. Yesterday, if you guys did not see, we posted for you to watch this story here on YouTube, which is The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. If you did not get a chance to listen to that story, go ahead and go do that now. This week's lessons will all be based on this book for ELA. So if you haven't listened to this story, go ahead and go do that now. Yesterday, we also asked you to write a summary of this story. So if you haven't written your summary yet, you can go do that. You can go write it on a piece of paper. If you don't have paper at home, you can type it on your Chromebook. But go ahead and write your summary if you haven't already. Or you can keep watching this video and I will go through how to do a summary. Like I said, we're going to be talking about summary today. So a summary is when you summarize a story that you read. So this story here is several pages long. It's got lots of words. It's a really good story, but it's lots of pages long. And what you do when you write a summary is you take the information, the most important parts of the story, and you scrunch it down to where it's much shorter. It's a shorter retelling of a story. So that if your friend comes up and says, "Hey, tell me a summary of that book you read," you're not going to tell them every single tiny detail in the story. You're going to take out the most important events and you're going to scrunch it down, and that is a summary. So keep watching and I will show you how to do a summary. Alright guys, see you in a minute. So remember, a summary is a short retelling of the story. So it has to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. I like to use these transition words to help me stay on track whenever I write a summary. And you can feel free to add some different transition words or more if you need more. But I have in the beginning, next, then, after that, and in the end. So as I'm writing my summary, I'm going to use these transition words to make sure I stay on track and I have a beginning, a middle, and an end. When we're writing a summary, we also want to remember to include the characters, setting, problem, events, and the solution. So we have to make sure our summary has a beginning, middle, and end, and characters, setting, problem, events, and solution. So here's our prompt for today. You guys, we asked you to do it yesterday, so now we're showing you what it looks like, what it should have looked like. Again, if you didn't do it yesterday, you can follow along and do it as I do it today. Here's what it says. Write a summary of The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind by William Kimkwamba. And I might be saying his last name wrong, but I believe that's how it's pronounced. So we are going to write a summary. And like I said, I like to use transition words to make sure I stay on track. So I have in the beginning, next, then, after that, and in the end. So in the beginning, there was a boy. Now remember, I have to introduce my characters and my setting. So in the beginning, there was a boy named William. Who lived, and here comes my setting, in a small African village called Malawi. So I introduced my character, which is William, and my setting, which is a small African village called Malawi. Now I have to make sure to introduce my problem. People in Malawi did not have much money so they did not have electricity or much food to eat. Okay, so I gave the problem now. So I've given my character, my setting, and now I gave the problem. People in this small village of Malawi did not have very much money, so they didn't have electricity or much food to eat. And now I'm starting with the events of the story. William was a very curious boy. Whoops. Always, man, I can't write for some reason. Always wondering about how things worked. So I'm giving a little bit more insight on my character as well right here, William. When it did not rain, in their village, crops were not able to grow. William's father said they only had enough for one meal a day. And they would not be able to go to school. Now notice how I'm putting this summary in my own words. I'm not even opening the book. And the reason why I do this is because I don't want to be tempted to copy the author's words. I read through the story a couple times. You might listen to the YouTube video a couple times through to make sure you have the story in your head. And then I usually keep the book closed. That way I don't try to copy the author's words. That's the important thing about a summary, is that it's in your own words. So even the part where I talked about what his father said, I didn't put quotes and write down exactly what his father said. I put it in my own words. William's father said they only had enough for one meal a day and they would not be able to go to school. Okay? Next, so here I start with my transition words. William remembered the library in their village. And started reading books and learning all about windmills and natural energy. Now notice, I'm not putting every single little detail in the story. If I did that, it would take forever. I didn't put how the library was given to them by the Americans. I didn't put how I used a dictionary to help them translate the words. I had to scrunch it down, so I had to leave some of those kind of unimportant details out. Okay? Next, William remembered the library in their village and started reading books and learning all about windmills and natural energy. Then he decided to build a windmill to help his village. He began taking pieces from the junkyard and some people thought he was weird. Now remember, this is a summary and it's in my own words. So is your summary going to look exactly like mine if you did it before this video? No, your summary is probably going to sound a lot different. But just make sure that it has those important parts that we talked about. The characters, setting, problem, events, and solution, and our transition words to help us through. I've also attached the anchor chart that was hanging in our classrooms, so feel free to look at that to help you as well. He began taking pieces from the junkyard, and some people thought he was weird. After that, his friends asked if they could help him build it, and they did. Okay, I really condensed that down. And they did. You know, I didn't go into detail about how they handed him the pieces and all that because I had to scrunch it down. In the end, this is our last sentence, and I'm going to have to flip it over. So I'm going to put this here so you can pause it if you need to. That way you can copy it down. Okay, we're going to flip over to the back. In the end, William helped his village by building windmills for electricity and water. And there we go. I know that was long, but we wanted to make sure that we included all the important details. The cool thing about this story is that it's based on a true story, and the author, I don't know if you noticed his name, William Kamkwamba. This is William from the story. So it's very cool. There's also YouTube videos out there where the author and the boy in the story, William, who's grown up now, talks about these things. So really cool. So feel free to copy this down if you want, or write your own summary in your own words. Like I said, it's not going to sound exactly like mine, just as long as you have the most important details. And let's make sure that we have all the things that we needed. I said in the beginning, there's my first transition word. Then I said next. I said then. After that. And I said in the end. Oh, in the end. And then also, did I introduce the character? Yes, there was a boy named William who was, where'd I put it? He was a very curious boy, always wondering about how things worked. There's my characters, check. Did I introduce the setting? Yes, a small African village called Malawi. Check. Did I give the problem? Yes. People in Malawi did not have much money, so they did not have electricity or much food to eat. So check. Did I give the events of the story? Yes, I did. I said first, or excuse me, in the beginning, next, then, after that, I gave all the events. And then did I give the solution? Yes. In the end, William helped his village by building windmills for electricity and water. So I think we hit all the important points, guys. Thank you for watching and following along. Let your teachers know if you guys have any questions, and have a great day. We will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.